Minister Morris Dixon. Leader Scott Motley.
Mr. President, I could not let this opportunity pass, although Junior Senator represented us so well. I want to first of all extend my deep condolences to Rachel and Matthew. It is always so difficult to lose your parent, and more so when you have an exceptional parent, as Mickey was. It's hard to say was. The past tense is something that is difficult to grapple with. I also want, Mr. President, to acknowledge the presence of the Myers Fletcher and Gordon team, and you will forgive me. I very rarely do this, but I want to single out my dear friend Ethan, who I know how close he was to Mickey. You know, there are some great leaders who pop up every now and then. And there are some exceptional leaders. And Mickey was one of them. When she walked into a room, she was an imposing figure, helped along her height and her stature and her grace and elegance. But she never made an announcement, "Do you know who I am?" In her very presence, she conveyed that you were meeting somebody who was exceptional in many ways. What did I admire about her the most? Not only was she genteel, impeccably dressed, as Senator Morris Dixon said, but it was her quiet way of leading, a strong, steady hand, cottoned steel, because you knew that you could not cross that line. It was very rarely, even with people like Donnie Buck, people like somebody named Tom Tavares Vincent, and, you know, Aaron Peralta, and those rambunctious, strong, powerful men. Very rarely. It was very rarely that she had to resort to showing her steely side. Because her charm, her emotional intelligence, her quiet voice would almost make you feel that you were doing something wrong in raising your voice and in behaving in a manner of which she would disapprove. In the legal profession, she mentored young people. She mentored everybody she met. That was one of the things that she did. She just gave an abundance of love to all. Sometimes you wondered how she had the possibility of making everyone feel so special because she made time. Mr. President, just let me say, we have lost a trailblazer, it is true, but we have lost a quintessential female leader, one who does not boast, one who just in quiet confidence simply leads. I know how deeply you feel, and my heart goes out to you. Jamaica has lost. And you know, Mr. President, we're losing all these fantastic women, because Ina Collymore Woodstock at 108, she passed yesterday. And as I wrote a note about her, my mind went to Dorothy. And I said they had so much in common. Just determined, focused, undaunted, brave, courageous, true leaders. May so rest in peace.
Thank you. Thank you very much to all who contributed. Rachel and Matthew, I'm going to ask the clerk to just make a copy of the formal recording and have it sent to you And of course, I really neglected to say how fond I was of Herman, who I would see at the supermarket regularly. And on one occasion, I saw him and said, "What you doing down here on the big Saturday morning?" He said, "No, Dorothy send me out, man." so every time I saw him in the supermarket, I would say, "Wait, she send you out again?" He said, "Ah, boy, what can I tell you?" So we were fellow shoppers on a Saturday morning. Please come. Just to say how very much I think it was important of all of us to put on the record of the Honourable Senate of Jamaica the contribution made by your mom, and please convey to your family our best regards. Thank you very much for coming and spending time with us this morning. Members, please acknowledge them as they leave. Thank you. You can leave it. You're staying with us? We have an excellent lunch can offer you, you know. As we move on to the next matter, once again, a very important person in the foreign affairs fabric passed recently in the person of the Consul General in New York, Ms. Alion Wilson, and perhaps not someone who many of us were acquainted with. I had personally met her on a number of occasions. She had done a remarkable job in representing the country and representing the Jamaican community in New York. And a cursory glance at her achievements suggests that she was somebody who was closely engaged with the Jamaican community and was able to direct resources from New York into Jamaica. I mean, during COVID, for example, over $150,000 she managed to raise for tablets and laptops for the kids. And recently, after burial, I think she was in a position to raise over $600,000. She also associated with the Alpha School of Music and other endeavors. So I asked the Senate to recognize the passage and the contribution of the Consul General Alion Wilson. I know the leader of government business acting, and I recognize you from a chair other than your own. The leader of government business is actually presently, her funeral started at 10 o'clock in New York, and the leader of government business and Minister of Foreign Affairs is present at that funeral, as is the Prime Minister, the Honourable Dr. Andrew Holness. And I think that it certainly demonstrates the extent to which her contribution will be missed. So I'm just going to ask Senator Hill, Minister Hill, just to place on record the contribution that she has made and the fact that the Senate notes her passing. Thank you, Minister Hill.
I've written something, so for the first time.
Very well.
I actually need it.
Thank you very much, Senator. Thank you, Senator Sinclair. Thank you very much. Senator Scott Motley.
Mr. President, members of the Senate, it's an honor to be able to pay this tribute to Jimmy Cliff. I first of all extend my condolences to his family, and not just his family, but to Jamaica and to all those over the world who held him in high regard and esteem. Jimmy Cliff, James Chambers, was more than an international icon. He was one of Jamaica's own. His voice carried the sound of this island, the resilience, the faith, and the humor, the stubborn courage, and the profound love for our people that defined who we are as a nation. When he sang, He did not simply perform. He carried all of us with him. The People's National Party has long recognized the depth of Jimmy Cliff's influence on Jamaica's cultural identity and our place in the world. It was in that spirit that former Prime Minister, the Most Honorable P.J. Patterson, conferred upon him the Order of Merit in 2003, formally affirming what the global community already knew, that his contribution to music and film had brought distinguished honor to Jamaica and immeasurable pride to our people. Indeed, when Senator Floyd Morris tabled a motion to expand the number of national heroes, Jimmy Cliff was on that list. Senator Sinclair, I bet I could win you at something that I've watched The Harder They Come many more times than you.
I watch it being filmed.
Okay, so quite without expecting to have started a contest, but I'm still willing to do the poll. So, Madam Clerk, edit that out of anything you sent. In Rebel in Me, he captured something Jamaicans understand instinctively. That inner fire that refuses to stay silent in the face of injustice. Jimmy possessed that spirit abundantly. He never stood apart from the struggles he sang about. He felt them, he lived them, and he transformed them into music that challenged us to confront wrongdoing with clarity and conviction. Through Treat the Youths Right, he placed a spotlight on one of the most urgent truths in our society, that the destiny of our young people shapes the destiny of Jamaica. He believed that every child deserved a fair chance, especially those who started life with the odds stacked against them. Honoring Jimmy Cliff means doing what he urged us to do, guiding our youths with intention, loving them with conviction, and nurturing a Jamaica where they know they matter. And in Journey, he shared the wisdom of a richly lived life, one marked by triumph and trial, joy and heartbreak, lessons learned and grace received. He understood what Jamaicans have lived, that the road is long, the climb is steep, and yet with God's help, we press on. Jimmy walked his road with courage, creativity, and a generous spirit. What has made his message so powerful is that it came from a Jamaican child who rose from the humblest of beginnings, worked for every open door, learned from every fall, and carried his people with him wherever he went. When he told us, you can get it if you really want, he was not offering empty optimism. He was giving us his own testimony, a lesson in perseverance, faith, and the dignity of striving. So today we do not merely mourn an artist. We mourn a son of the soil, a brother, a voice that shaped the rhythm of our national spirit. We give thanks for the courage he modeled, for the hope he sustained, and for the love of humanity that powered every note he sang. His life's work will continue to inspire generations to come. May his soul rest in peace.
Thank you very much, Senator Scott Motley. Senator Tavares Finson.